Hi guys, welcome to the Savvy Money Show with me, your host Sean. Today we're discussing Open Orphan, and I'd like to thank FAANG for bringing it to me. Anyone who hasn't seen her channel, you might want to check it out. She's a London-based woman who delves into all kind of things finance, and it's very good. Probably better than mine, but anyway, let's get on with it. This is the report regarding it, and Open Orphan have released, and it's just come out, and they basically, I'm sure you know, they have just taken over GEVO in January, and we're going to speak about that. But who are Open Orphan? Well, Open Orphan did a reverse merger of Venn Life Sciences a few years ago, and back then it was undervalued. I tried my hand at YouTube then. I was new, I didn't do any research, and I said about Venn Life Sciences going in with a merger, and I didn't even have a name. I just uploaded it in my account. And I forgot all about it. So now let us delve into the camera. I will include that report along with other videos I suggest you watch if you're thinking of investing in it. These videos, they are important. It is important you know all about a company if you're investing in it. It's involved in the orphan drug company space. What are orphan drugs? They develop medicines for rare diseases. The big pharma do not deal with them because there's not enough money in it. Now, the US, though, has 5 times the amount of orphan drugs approved than EU, and because it has a lot more pharma companies, even small ones, than the EU. And they have all these tax breaks where the big pharma companies can get off with tax if they fund the smaller ones, and what they do is they fund them on condition they get like 1% if anything comes of it, and it's all like a merry-go-round. But anyway, they find it hard to actually get any orphan drugs through without funding from the government. So the governments have schemes to bring these through. They also have what they call an orphan drug designation, which means they can fast track them through. They do not have the red tape, and they do not have to wait so long. You know how you have to put the application in, you have to wait until they have time for it to go, and then they give you a date. With the orphan drug, it's different. They have like a special orphan drug section. Anyway, we will go on to it. And don't forget to hit that lovely like button, almost as lovely as me. Helps with the YouTube algorithm and getting the video out to more people. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Become part of the Savvy Money Show family. We give each other hints and tips and updates about stocks and shares we talk about on the show. As well as that, you can ask me to look into any share you want, and I don't charge a Discord fee or ask for a Patreon. All I do ask is for you to comment in the box below and hit the like button. Even if you disagree with me, especially if you disagree with me, I like a debate. And if I do something wrong, I want you to call me on it so I can improve the channel. And why not check out the links in the description below? There's lots of offers. I've used each one of them myself. I wouldn't give you links if I haven't checked them out myself. If you're looking for a free trading platform which should trade your stocks and shares, you know, you can get a free share worth up to £200 for signing up and depositing a small amount. A free trade only requires a £1 deposit. The others require £100 or dollars, depending on which one you go for. Stake has over 3,500 US stocks on their books, which is the biggest one outside of the US. Whereas Trading 212 is one of the best and easiest platforms to use. But as I said, I use all three. Anyway, on with the show. I'll move on with the news reports first of all, because this is probably what's brought you to it. Orphan Drug has won a 4.3 million contract through HVIVO for a non-COVID study, and as far as I know, from what I understood with the reports, their lab is more or less 100% utilised, whereas previously it was only being 25% utilised. Now they're bringing in money. According to their financials, first half they reported 7.1 million, but their EBITDA was a 4.1 million loss. Now they hope to turn that around fairly soon, and I think it's an interesting company, because although it's it is also in talks with the government, UK government, over its testing and its vaccine. Now it also has a portfolio of 8 viral challenge study models. You know, you've got 2 flu, you can read it yourself, 1 chronic lung disease, 1 2 RSV, 1 HRV, 1 asthma, 1 cough. Now it's no wonder that one of them could be, any one of them could be utilised for COVID, and they're supposed to be helping many COVID-19 vaccine development companies. Now it's no wonder, because as I said in a previous video, you don't go searching for the one that can be the first COVID-19 company, you go for the undervalued one, because no one COVID-19, no one pharma company could service enough vaccines for America, let alone the whole world. So you will need the others as well. So they're bringing on companies like these. No, you want ones with a pipeline as well, or they need to be extremely undervalued. This looks good, because they're being brought on by bigger companies to help them out, which means that at some point bigger company may want to put an offer in for them. However, hopefully they'll turn it down, unless it's an extremely great offer. There are other things other than the COVID, but let's talk about HVIVO. Now, to tell the truth, I think they got a great deal here. And I do think HVIVO is the only reason, the acquisition is the only reason they're not profitable. But flu camp, basically what happens is people go in there for a 6-week period, they get paid thousands of pounds to go in for a 6-week period, they get given flu and they get given a vaccine to test how effective the vaccine is so they can prepare for the next year. And that's how it works. And they have all these four, they have these four aspects to it, not just flu camp, but that flu camp in itself is very lucrative, because I'm sure you understand how many flu vaccines sold, and not just by these guys, but that data as well. And I will be speaking about data in a minute. Now, we've been talking about HVIVO, and we've touched on orphan, but well, because, and even a joint venture with Immutex, they have a lot of contracts with employers to, and of course everything's regarding COVID at the moment, but I think the best thing, but it isn't COVID, and I'll tell you why. It's the genetic bank. Now, sorry about the quality of this, I'm trying to improve it. See, you will see here how, okay, let me do something different. You will see likes of AstraZeneca, Amgen, Genentech, GlaxoSmithKline, Russia, VA. Now, they have given 415 million, 10 million, 300 million. AstraZeneca is still in they were that's the thing, they done some deal with AstraZeneca but wasn't paid, so I'm wondering what they got in exchange, but they would have gotten something in exchange, otherwise they wouldn't have done a deal. 1.9 billion by Rush, and then 5.3 billion again, and 111 million from. Now, the way this works is, because I looked into a company that was crowdfunding with this, is you get your genes tested, they let you know if there's any issues, they hold it on a data bank. No one can get at them or mess about with them, because it's all encrypted, all the information. And all of these, I spoke about gene testing before, like long and short testing, and the pluses and minuses, and all of the, and I was sorry that my drawing was terrible, it is terrible, I know, but the basically what happens is someone like GSK will come forward and say, right, we need, sorry, it wasn't 100 million, it was 800 million, we need, and this was during their corporate equity raise round, when they needed to raise money. GSK said, we need some information for some drugs we're looking into. Do you have any samples with this particular gene sequence on there? and they'll say, yes, we do. We have so many of these. Can we have so many samples, please? And they will pay like $480 per sample. They would, but before they do, they would contact the person and say to them, would you be willing to let them use your sample to compare it and develop drugs on? You will be paid a percentage of what we're paid for. If you say no, then they can't. If you say yes, then they will. Of course, GSK would have no idea it's you because it's encrypted, and they would then GSK would not have to go through the trouble of recruiting people for their tests. If something goes wrong, have to pay compensation, you know, and they only paid $480 instead of paying like between $1,000 and $10,000 depending on the test. Now, the other thing is, when they did the merger with Venn Life Sciences, institutions paid double what the value was at the time, which showed that they thought they had great potential. A lot of institutions were only willing to pay what base value is then, using the excuse, well, I can't actually sell my shares for like a 90-day lockup period, so if you want my money, I'm going to, or I can't sell it for so long, so if you want my money, then these are the terms. So they got a great deal with institutions when they were Venn Life Sciences. But so did the institutions, because they were well undervalued when they did the reverse merger. I think there is great potential with this. And I think they can look at this. 40,000 samples for NGS cancer, $2,775 a sample, 111 million. You know, I mean, that was last year. They haven't put in anything for this year yet. I haven't seen any figures for this year yet, because I think they've been so concentrated on COVID, the acquisition, that they haven't been pushing this. And of course the other companies have been so concentrating on COVID as well. And they're like, well, and you know, why should we let you get all the money when we can develop it ourselves? So they just took over vaccine play. It's kind of like when I said about Tsla Life Sciences, when it was more beneficial for them to take over a company and just add their own stuff to it and fast track themselves than just help support a company and just muddle along. And look at them, they're 5x since then. Same with this company. They've decided to do that. Now I think they will go back to this, and I think this will be massive for them. It will be a service industry for them, and going forward they will always have this, because genetic data will always be good. The reason I didn't invest in the other company was it wasn't encrypted, so you could get a hacker go into it. You could get the company would know who you were, and there was a few things wrong with it. With this, there's plenty of protections, and they have the other stuff. I just think it's worthy of looking Now, if we look at a balance sheet, we can see financially that the total liabilities of 8.98 million against current assets of 18 million and total assets of 35 million put it in a fairly good position. Now, even though it's making a loss, the loss is not that big, and it should, as they said, it should turn it around. It isn't relying on one product, it has a few products and it's picking up contracts. So this is one that is worth looking at. The price to book is high, but then, you know, it's not profit making at the moment, but it's close. I would consider this purely because, I mean, I know it's at an all-time high. You might want to think of a pullback, see if there's a pullback. I would be waiting a few weeks to see if there's a pullback. If not, because it is at all-time highs, has had its earnings already, so you don't want to be going in when all the good news is coming out. You want to wait for people to get bored of it and start taking their money out. Don't get me wrong, it's a good enough company to go in, but I would want it to pull back to $15 or under $20. That seems to be a good place to get into. If you can get it for under $20, I think you've done well. And it would be what I call a spec cum growth stock. It's got kind of in between the two. I think it can do very well. At the moment it's speculative, but it's on the edge of becoming a growth stock. Now, don't forget to comment in the box below. Do you own any? Are you looking to pick any up? Don't forget to hit the like button. Helps with the YouTube algorithm and getting the video out to more people. And I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to check out the links down below. I'm going to put some links down below for you to check out. See you later.